Good morning, Math Dragons. We have page 7 ready for you so that you can do your work today. Greatest common factor, GCF. Let's zoom on in to the first part of this here. Greatest common factor, GCF, Notes and Practice. Notice we're on page 7. I can find the greatest common factor, GCF, between a set of numbers. Your word bank, factor pair, greatest common factor, multiply, product, distinct factors, and common factors. Go ahead, pause the video, and jot these words down. All right, let's take a look at the sentences. Factors are numbers we can blank together to get another number. Product. Number 2, a blank blank is two natural numbers other than 0 that are multiplied together to produce another number. Number 3, each number in a factor pair is a factor of the blank. Number 4, blank blank are factors that appear only once in a list. Number 5, blank blank are factors shared between a set of numbers. 6, the blank 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 GCF is the greatest factor two or more numbers have in common. Go ahead and jot these down. Okay, now let's resume. Factors are numbers we can. If you'd like to attempt these on your own, I recommend pausing the video and giving these vocabulary words a try. Factors are numbers we can multiply together to get another number. A blank blank is two natural numbers that are multiplied together to produce another number. A factor pair. Each number in a factor pair is a factor of the product. Blank blank are factors that appear only once on a list. Those would be distinct factors. Blank blank are factors shared between a set of numbers. Those would be common factors. They have them in common. The greatest common factor is the greatest factor two or more numbers have in common. Excellent work, Dragons. Excellent work. Let's go on to the next page. I made an arrow here, example, so we don't forget that we need to turn the page. Okay, on this page, I'm going to show you the overall layout so you don't write too big. I want you to be able to see everything we need to fit. Okay, let's zoom in on the first portion here, the example. Find the greatest common factor, GCF, between 48 and 64. Step 1. Use a factor rainbow or list to find the distinct factors of each number. Okay, so with 48, I'll show you a factor rainbow, and then with 64, I'll model a list, because you could do either one. It's fine. Okay, so 48. 48, we're going to make a rainbow here. Well, we can always do 1 and the number itself. That's the identity property of multiplication. 48. 8 is an even number, so 2 is definitely going to go into it. 2 times what will get you 48? 24. I recommend pausing the video and seeing if you can finish the factor rainbow and then resuming after you have finished. 3 and 16, 4 and 12, 5 doesn't work, 6 and 8, 7 doesn't work, and we're back at 8. All right, this is excellent. These are your distinct factors. Distinct factors of 48. Now, a list is what I usually use. It's like I create it as if it were a rainbow, but I just don't do the arches. So I do 1 and 64. Let's see. 2 and 21. No, 31. Sorry. Not 31, 32. I should have gotten more rest. 32. 3 can't work. 4. Let's test it. I don't want to make any more mistakes. Four goes into 24 6 times. Okay, 4 and 16. 5 doesn't work. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. What about 8? 8 times 8. 8 times 8. 9 doesn't work. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So this group here are the distinct factors of 64. Okay, so we know all the factors. We know what goes into these numbers. Please don't confuse factors and multiples. Multiples get bigger, like multiply. You're growing in magnitude. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Distinct factors, you're chopping up like a ninja. You're chopping up the number into its factor pairs. Factor pairs tend to repeat the factors, like we learned on another page in the notebook. So you only need one of each pair. You don't need both because the commutative property just swaps them. So let's see what we need to do with the factors now that we have them. We're going to need to find the common factors between the set of numbers. So let's go ahead and list the factors of 48 in this bubble here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 48. And then going to repeat that process over here for the factors of 64. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Now let's find ones that are alike. Okay, 1 and 1, check. 2 and 2, check. 4 and 4, check. 8 and 8, check. No, 12. 16, 16. Check, check. They don't have a match for 32 or 64. Now what you want to do, now that you have this, is circle the largest one. You want the largest of the common factors. The largest of the common factors is 16. So the GCF for 48 and 64 is 16. Let's test it really quick. Over to the side here. 16 goes into 48 how many times? Should be 3. 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 6 is 18. 30 plus 18 is 48. Notice how I mentally decompose the numbers. This is a little shortcut. Let's see, 16 goes into 64. Let's try 4 times. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 6 is 24. 40 plus 24 is 64. All right, and mentally decompose the numbers to make the math easier. Quick review at the bottom here. What are factor pairs of 64? We have the rainbow, so I don't have to do any extra work. I would just have to write it. So factor pairs of 64 would be 1 and 64, and then 64 and 1. 2 and 32, 32 and 2. 4 and 16, 16 and 4. Then 8 times 8, we can't really swap that. It is what it is, because if we swap it, it'll be identical. Okay, so those are all the notes you need to have success today on the homework. Good luck, dragons. See you soon.